Welcome to the Belated Tech Channel's 39th edition of the Tesla and SpaceX Redux. We are reviewing the milestones that occurred on each day in the week of June 14th through June 20th in the history of Tesla, SpaceX, Starlink, the Boring Company, and Elon Musk's other various business ventures. June 14th, 2018. Elon Musk and Chicago Mayor Rahm Emanuel held a joint press conference on this date to announce the Boring Company had been awarded the Chicago Express contract. The Chicago Express is a planned direct transit dual tunnel from downtown Chicago to O'Hare Airport. We covered the Chicago Express project in Milestones 32. Current Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot has made it clear to the Boring Company that the project cannot begin without a significant amount of politically oriented graft being added, as well as an ownership stake by the city. The company had originally proposed financing the project itself in exchange for collecting fares. After an initial burst of excitement for proposed Boring Company projects across the United States, it seems like the company is retrenching after encountering numerous regulatory roadblocks and the lack of a viable electric conveyance, such as the 12-person people mover shown in their animations. The Baltimore-Washington project was recently canceled in April of 2021, and the Las Vegas Convention Center project, which opened on June 8th, features human-driven Model S sedans, leading many in the media to call it an underground taxi service. There is no word on the People Mover or the Chicago Express as of the date of this video. June 15th, 2016. The ABS-2A and Eutelsat 117 West B communication satellites were lifted to orbit on a Falcon 9 FT rocket, Booster 1024, from the Cape Canaveral Air Force Station's Launch Complex 40 on this date. The booster failed to return to a drone ship. 1 year after pioneering this technique on the ABS-3A Eutelsat 115 West B launch, a Falcon 9 again lifted two Boeing 702 SP gridded ion thruster satellites at 4,000 pounds each in a dual stack configuration, with the two customers sharing the rocket and mission costs. The booster landing attempt failed due to low thrust on one of the three landing engines. A suboptimal path led to the stage running out of propellant just above the deck of the landing ship. June 16, 2018. Tesla CEO Elon Musk tweeted out on this date, quote, "How many socialists does it take to screw in a light bulb?" Answer, that's not funny. The entrepreneur was venting some frustration at overly sensitive progressives who had been criticizing him and his companies. Musk followed up on that tweet with another that said, quote, "By the way, I am actually a socialist, just not the kind that shifts resources from the most productive to the least productive, pretending to do good while actually causing harm. True socialism seeks greatest good for all." June 17th, 2021. The GPS-305 satellite was lifted to orbit on a Falcon 9 B-5 rocket, Booster 1062, from the Cape Canaveral Air Force Station's Launch Complex 40 near this date. The booster was scheduled to return to a drone ship. The launch is one of three on a manifest contracted for by the Air Force in March of 2018, following complaints filed by SpaceX that the service branch awarded all of its contracts to the ULA. The Air Force was unrepentant and paid SpaceX's complaints lip service by awarding the lowest value contract launches, the GPS constellation upgrades, in its schedule. SpaceX, to its credit, has not publicly commented on the matter since it settled with the Air Force, and is just going about its business, launching spacecraft. June 18th, 2018. Musk emailed all of its Tesla employees on this date, saying, quote, "Late last night we had another strange incident that was hard to explain. Small fire in the body and white production line. No one was in the area and there were no injuries or specific equipment damage, but it was enough to stop the body production line for several hours. It could be just a random event, but as Andy Grove said, only the paranoid survive. Please be on alert for anything that's not in the best interests of our company. If you aren't getting a response, please send me a note directly. Tesla's Fremont factory had experienced a series of suspicious fires since 2014, and apparently this most recent incident had been no less suspicious. Fortunately, there was another fire until March of 2021 when a giant stamping machine burst into flame after molten aluminum ignited, leaking hydraulic fluid. The blaze occurred in a section of the factory under construction and was quickly put out. No word as to whether that fire was also suspicious. June 19th, 2019. Tesla announced in this date that the price for solid black paint would cost buyers $1,000 more than its standard cover, which would be simple white. The general consensus among automotive industry analysts was that white paint did a better job of hiding minor scratches, while black showed every blemish and imperfection. Thus, Tesla could kill two birds with one stone, reduce warranty claims due to black paint, and boost profit for the more finicky paint color. The initial cost of any color appears to be about the same, including black and white. The choice of one base color or another is driven by production efficiency. Tesla has always offered a single color at no charge, and then charged extra for any color other than the base. It is a reminder of another famous car company who had a similar policy in the 20th century, the Ford Motor Company. Henry Ford said in 1909 that customers could have, quote, any color as long as it was black. The quote was memorialized in Ford's 1922 autobiography, My Life and Work. June 20th, 2016. Elon Musk, in response to a Tesla owner's video driving past stalled ICE cars through a flooded underpass at a Model S, tweeted, quote, we definitely don't recommend this, but Model S floats well enough to turn it into a boat for short periods of time. Thrust via wheel rotation. It's not clear in the clip whether or not the car actually floats in the way that Musk describes, but it certainly makes better headway than the vehicles stranded in the same tunnel. Musk later noted that the drive unit and battery in the Model S are sealed to keep out liquids, but still, no one would ever recommend driving your car, electric or otherwise, through floodwater. The possibility of faults and complications aside, most car warranties, including Tesla's, don't cover this sort of damage, and death by drowning in a flooded car is a real risk. Stick to dry land. Before we get to the current event of the week, we wanted to see if you enjoyed this 39th episode of Belated Tech's Tesla and SpaceX Redux. If so, click that like button. Did you agree with our choices, or are there other events that were better? Go ahead and share with us by dropping a comment below. And if you have suggestions for an event in the future, we'll take those too. We'll credit events we pick for future videos to those viewers that post them. We hope you have been enjoying our content. Have we earned your subscription to our channel? If yes, and you have not yet taken the opportunity to subscribe, please take a moment to do so now and click the bell notification icon so you don't miss upcoming videos. We want to continue delivering great content to you. You can always unsubscribe, and subscribing is free. On June 2nd, 2021, Axiom Space signed a contract with SpaceX for 3 additional Crew Dragon missions to meet its projections for private astronaut missions to the International Space Station through 2023. Axiom already had purchased launch and capsule service from SpaceX for the AX-1 mission to the ISS, expected in early 2022. That flight will be commanded by former NASA astronaut Michael Lopez Alegria, with 3 customers, Larry Connor, Mark Pathy, and Eitan Steib. Axiom previously announced May 25th that another former NASA astronaut, Peggy Whitson, will command the AX-2 mission. She will fly with John Schaffner, a private astronaut, and 2 additional customers to be announced. Whitson and Schaffner had already been assigned as backups for the AX-1 mission, and the AX-2 mission is part of the block of 3 missions just purchased. Axiom Space is planning on launching its own commercial space station section to the ISS. The early Axiom SpaceX missions are intended to train astronauts for its own needs in supporting that section. The Axiom Station modules are to be initially attached to the ISS starting as early as 2024, and in the event of the ISS's retirement, be joined to a propulsion, power, and climate control module that will facilitate their separation from the joint US-Russian station. Links to some of our most recent episodes can be found in the description section below. You can peruse our entire 250 plus video library by looking at our playlists, which conveniently sort videos by subject. We announce all new videos on our microblogging accounts, which are listed below, as well as in the community feed for this channel. Want to know how to navigate our channel content? We refer to retrotech and innovation documentary segments as episodes. Coverage of current events in space exploration, science, and technology are labeled as shorts. Space and tech history are documented in an anthology called Milestones. And gameplay recordings can be discovered on the Belated Tech gaming channel in videos called walkthroughs and side missions. Stay connected by occasionally checking our Instagram feed and Minds page, where we post content from our upcoming episodes and from episodes past that you may have missed, and where we cover current news and events related to channel content. Thanks for watching.